Hi, I'm Jacques Pépin and I'm cooking at home.
Today I wanted to show you how to open clam and oyster. It's not an easy thing to do and you have to be careful, and there is many implements that I have here. This one is classic, this one is classic also for the clam. This is a more sturdy one, and that's the one I like really, this one. And I remember being with Julia and she said, if you don't have anything else, use the can opener like this to open it. And it does work, but it's pretty hard to open it. And finally for the clam, I like to use a little paring knife like this. Let's start with the clam, and what you do, actually I use the small knife like that, I put it against the opening, I can fit it here, I go and I close right in. And I don't finish opening it. If I have 2 dozen to open, I open 2 dozen just this way, first. And as you see, this one, the thing broke, but still there. If this one is harder like this, then I take a towel and you use it in the back, in the hinge here, to put it in there and break it open here. Okay. What I like to do is to open all of them this way. And what I didn't tell you, first, I put those in the freezer. They've been in the freezer 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. Just enough so that it shocks them and it's easier to open. So when they're all open, and I can do that 2-3 hours ahead, and at the last time when I'm ready to serve them, I'm ready to open them. And for that, very often, instead of a knife, I use a small spoon like that, which is pretty thin edge. So in order to, clean the thing like that, and like that, there is no danger of cutting yourself. And again here, this way, and this way, you want to get that loose to have it here. And as you can see, this one here, I open from the back, so it's slightly different. But again, I clean up the inside. Okay. Now the oyster is probably a little harder to open. And as I said, my favorite one is this one. So here, you would go in the hinge in the back here. So apply pressure. Make sure that you take a 30 towel. You want to go there and just pop it. And I heard it pop here. So again, each of them, I do this. I do 1 or 2 dozen at the time. And when I'm ready to open them, so here, those are all, in a sense, being opened. The hard part is done here. So then again, I use my little knife. Somewhere, now there is a hole here. I can slide it in. And what you want to cut is right there. The nerve that you have here. And make it loose here the same way. Here. And the second one here. Nice and briny. 6 oysters. Now, if you cannot really open it like this, you try with a plier like that. It's better a flatter one in front, so that you break a little piece of the shell here. And if you can break a little piece of the shell and have a little bit of a hole here, then you can put your knife and turn it around, and the knife will go. So you don't really waste that oyster. Another thing that I've done also, I have put the oyster in the microwave oven for about 15-20 seconds. You get it loose, and you can open it this way. So here is my oyster and my clam. And now, the sauce that we do most of the time, we use the most, is the very classic horseradish sauce. So here, let's say I have a 1/4 cup at the most of ketchup. I put a little bit of the hot sauce, maybe a teaspoon at the most. What you want to do here is put a little bit of lemon juice. If you don't have it, very often I use, this is a very mild vinegar. Again, maybe a teaspoon at the most. And the horseradish here, you can have some fresh one. I would have a good tablespoon of horseradish with this. And I have a very good sauce here. This is usually the classic one that we use at home all the time. Now for the oyster, and also for the clam, we do sometimes what we call a mignonette sauce. Mignonette refer to actually black pepper. See, this is black pepper. And when you break that black pepper, you crack it. And usually I use a skillet like this. Move forward like that, cracking it. So this cracked pepper is what we call mignonette. This is what you do when you do a steak au pois, for example. You spread it out, you dip your steak in it. That's the mignonette. I put in there. And shallots. That I'm going to cut finely. Maybe a good tablespoon of shallots here. A couple of pieces of chives, especially if I have chives in my garden, so I use them all the time. You have usually a little dash of salt on top of it, and you fill it up with the best possible red wine vinegar that you have. Okay, so this is your mignonette sauce. Each one of that you're going to do up in that to put on top of your oyster. And very often at the table, you're served with a spoon like this. There is a spoon and an indentation like this, so that you can go with the abducting muscle is. But as you see, I cut it. Delicious. With black bread and butter. That's what goes well with it. Thank you, and happy cooking.